Great. And we are recording. David, again, thank you so much for being here today. I just want to acknowledge, David Knox, who's an international real estate speaker, works with folks across the globe. And I'm pleased to say that I've been through many of your sessions over the years, David, 31 years for me.
Oh, good to hear.
I'm excited to have you accept this invite to talk. And when we were talking, David, you were telling me about a program that you've just put together, a presentation, which is called Thrive Responsibly. And that program talks about communications, productivity, and above all else, inner peace, finding inner peace. And I would love for you to share with me some details that we can share with folks and how we can navigate, especially at this time in our lives.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks for having me on your show. I hope some agents get mileage out of this. My goal has been to give agents permission to be productive in this crazy time. And
I love the way you say that, permission to be productive.
Yeah, and I think we have a new, what I'm calling a corona correctness, where people are deathly afraid of, is it okay to work? Can I do stuff? Should I stay home? And by the way, anything, I got to preface this, anything I say on this Zoom has to be in context with everybody's personal safety.
Yes.
State rules, board rules, all that stuff. So what I say is going to work in some state, and some of you are going to listen and go, it's not going to work for me.
That's right.
If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. So my goal is, I don't need to discuss what's going on the medical side of this. There's plenty of news on that. My goal is to help people navigate through these times. And I think there's a fear that people have of, well, if I attempt to do my business, am I being opportunistic? Right. Am I violating any kind of morals or standards that are set by this? And I think it's a good question. I think you need to be in harmony with people's belief systems of what's going on, and have compassion for the people who have been impacted. A lot of people have died from this.
Right.
And the question I ask of audiences, do you think grocery stores are being opportunistic? And I've done, 100 of these Zooms. I probably talked to 2,000 or 3,000 agents lately. And they all shake their heads. No, I mean, you're grateful for grocery stores. My little dog back there someplace, I ran out of dog food. And I thought, oh no, I don't have any dog food. I wonder if PetSmart is open in Rancho Mirage, California, where I am. And it was open, yay. And then I go through Amazon and Zoom and B&H Video, and I've got more stuff that I've needed. My glasses broke, I needed new glasses. So I'm grateful for all the businesses that are helping me through this. They are not being opportunistic. They're not taking advantage of it. They're merely serving a need. And along with that, one step further, there are businesses doing better as a result of the virus. And to say people are doing better in a sentence where people have died, it's like it's almost perverted to say that, but it's true. And we begin with Zoom. Zoom is making more money now than they have ever made. Their stock price is higher. And I ask audiences, do you begrudge Zoom for being successful now? And they go, well, of course not. That's how we're communicating with buyers, sellers, each other, families. We're grateful for Zoom. How about Netflix? I own Netflix. And I think the stock market went down today, up and down. And the only green is Netflix. Only one. Everybody else is going south. Netflix is going up. I'm glad I own the stock. Does anyone begrudge? Are you mad at Netflix? Oh, they're taking advantage. No.
Right.
Oh, they're providing entertainment. And every night when you're not selling real estate, or for the bad agents all day long, they're watching Netflix. Peloton just went up 60% because people are buying exercise bicycles so they can take care of themselves. So my message to realtors is, you can be the Zoom, the Netflix, the Peloton of real estate. You can be the person who delivers that service. You're going to be the person that succeeds now, which brings me to another point. I hear agents saying, when we get through this, on the other side of this, forget the other side of this. Forget it. What about today?
Yes. Why would you wait?
What are you going to do this afternoon? What are you going to do between now and dinner time? Who are you going to talk to? Who do you know that needs to buy, needs to sell, needs your help? Who's in the middle of having to close their house because they need the money to do something? So I think people need to get out of the duck and cover mode and get out and help their clients mode. And speaking of that, I want to share with you, I was doing a Zoom with a company in Virginia Beach a little while ago. And this is something he put in the chat. His name was Jerry Allen, and he said, I got shamed from a real estate agent for the idea of mailing, giving anything out during this pandemic. She was angry about the idea of it. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine an agent being mad that somebody else is doing business? But that's what we're competing against. That's, why do the rich get richer, the poor get poor? Because she sits down there and goes, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. And by the way, if she chooses to stay home and do nothing, that's her right.
That's her right. That's right.
Have at that. If you've got a good reason, you need to stay home. We had somebody on a seminar. She was saying that her husband has COPD, and as a result of that, she does not want to bring anything back to her. That's your right to do that. It is not your right to go out and shame other people for being successful. That's wrong. It violates everything that I've ever stood for. So it really angered me when I saw that. But I guess I should feel sorry for this woman that not only is she not doing anything with her life, she's upset that somebody else is. It's kind of like people in a car, they get passed by a motorcycle. Why does that motorcycle get to go to the front of the line and go through? Did he slow you down? Right. No, well then why are you upset? So anyway, that's the mentality of a lot of agents today. Now I'm going to share with you the opposite of that. And full disclosure, this is a letter that my fiance in United Kingdom received. She's with Spicer Heart, and she's running the whole office by herself. And one of the customers was so happy with her service, he wrote a letter to the company. And I've cut out some of the small parts. And it said, Mandy was your last person standing, friendly. We feared that the process would lose momentum. Their home was on the market. They had to get it sold. And then the pandemic comes along. They were definitely afraid of that. But Mandy kept us informed. This was priceless. But the third paragraph is really important for realtors to know. This house was owned by my wife's mother, who, suffering from advanced dementia, had been in a nursing home since mid-December. The available funds to pay for her care have literally just run out. So the sale of the property pays for the care of his wife's mother. We're not talking trivia like, oh, you shouldn't have the right to, make a commission. Mandy helped this poor family. Grateful to write this long letter. That's what we realtors can be doing, helping people buy and sell. For the people on the edges, the 10%, 15% of the buyers who, they're not comfortable buying now. 10 or 15% of the sellers that say, I'd kind of like to take my home with the market. Great. We respect it. Let go, and deal with the people who are ready to move and respect the others. So there's the two agents out there. So when I ask agents, which agent do you want to be?
That's right. That's right. And they do have the choice because, their situation is real to them if they can't be active in the marketplace right now. But there are many that are busier than they've ever been.
Oh, I know. And that's because the other ones are like this agent who goes to hide and they duck and cover.
That's
so
right.
The questions I've asked agents is, do you believe people are still going to buy and sell? And I think we've proven that through the pandemic. We proved it through 9/11, through everything. Yes, people still buy and sell. Clearly not as many. Do you want to stay in the real estate business? Well, there's two agents, one no, one yes. What changes must I make to survive? What skills, et cetera? And the answer clearly is you got to go virtual. But that's not that big a change. Come on, we've been virtual for years. Take a look at all the aspects of the business. Prospecting, those first contacts, 78% of all people start their search online. So we know that. They're shopping, photos, video tours, 3Ds. Physical. Now there's the part that got whacked. All of a sudden, nobody could show nothing. Nobody could know no place. Forget about it. In fact, in Pennsylvania, the buyers can't go to the house. The agent can't go to the house. I don't even think the sellers can be in their own house. That's how locked down they are. I got to take a breath or I'm going to rant on this, but I think we've gone to some ridiculous extremes. So the showings have been heard. Contracts electronic, deposits electronic, the inspections and appraisals. Those are two other things. And of course, along with that, we've got open houses that got hit. Open houses, showings, offer presentations. So the question is, can we do it virtually? The answer is yes. One of the people we feature in our training, Mike Parker, emailed this to me and said, hey, go ahead and share it if you'd like. But this is a flyer his company put together to tell his customers and clients that we can help you sell safely. Virtual consultations, valuations, signatures, marketing plan, etc. And anybody watching this, if you want to do a screenshot, Mac is Command-Shift-3, PC, print screen, and make your own flyer. So from adversity comes ingenuity. It's a time to adapt, learn, implement, figure this stuff out. And my message has been, don't let a temporary situation cause permanent damage. Yes. And sadly, it's what it's doing to a lot of people. So if you take a look at where this market may have gone, general trend, it rises coming out of the spring into the summer, tapers off. And I get that different markets are seasonal, et cetera, but just follow the concept. So I think maybe this is what it could look like. So people, yeah, we know for a fact showings were down. Sellers were taking their homes off the market. So we know for a fact that there's going to be a dip. The question is, where do those people go? Have they delayed or have they denied? And I think they've delayed. And I think that there's a mass percentage of them that are just going to buy later, sell later, and realtors are going to be making their income later in the year. I think not only will the good realtors make equal the money they would have made, I think they can make more because the competition has gone away. So that's one view of the market, but it begins with getting yourself to be okay. Because if you're negative, afraid, if you're anxious, if you're upset, you're going to rub off on anybody. You're of no value to another human being. If you're stressed out, you're going to need their help. So how do you get yourself to be okay? And that gets into when you talked about my introduction. How do you stay sane and find inner peace? And the first thing is to be grateful for the blessings you do have. And I realize we're recording this, but I'm going to take 15 seconds. And for those of you watching, take 15 seconds and write down some things you are grateful for that you have right now.
Right.
And on the live events, people, I have them type it into the chat, and, health and family have been the number 2 things to come up on every single Zoom I've done forever. And obviously the irony of that is for people who are directly affected by the coronavirus, the thing for which someone might be most grateful might be the one thing that got taken from them, whether it was themselves or somebody else. But if you do not have the virus, whatever, you can take a look at your health. Family, for me, it's my fiance. I had a couple of FaceTimes with her today. We're going to make dinner together virtually. I'm grateful for my little dog. I got a pool out here I can jump in, and I got a nice sunny day, and we can go on from there. Number 2, limit your exposure to the media. The media is not your friend. The media will create fear. They stop reporting facts and start reporting projections. This could happen. This might happen. The model says this many people will die. Well, the model says this. Well, if we do this, this could happen. This might happen. Travel might not start till 2021. All I want to do is say, shut up. I was a journalism major, and one of the things I learned was you report the facts. You report what is happening. And do not waste my time with what you think might happen. It is of no value. So you've got to decide, how do you stay informed as a mature adult without getting inflamed by the constant barrage? We do not have a 24-hour news. We have 1 hour, 24 times. Right. So you've got to decide which part of the day do you want to wreck. Do you want to wake up and watch the news and be upset all day? Do you want to do it at night so you can't sleep? I'm thinking maybe do it at lunch, and maybe it'll keep you from eating so much, and then you'll be back to health. So I don't know.
You might forget it by the time you put your head down.
Yeah, you might just do it. So again, for people listening, so what are you saying? I shouldn't be informed? No. But you have to decide, what can you do with what you're hearing on the news? If you can't do anything with it, why know it? I don't, and again, this could sound just horrible, but I don't need to know, how many cases of coronavirus came in my county of Riverside. I don't need to know that today. I really don't. Now, when I start booking my flights back to Minnesota, yes, I'll tune in and find out what's going on, find out what the rules are. So let go of what you cannot control. Focus on your own health, your own family, your own business, your own life. Focus on those things that you can control and control them. The majority is completely outside of your control. The half step to control is, if it is somebody else over which you have no control, maybe you can help them. Maybe you can donate to their cause. Maybe you can deliver flowers to these people. Maybe you can donate money. So there's a way to kind of that next ring out from you, take your mind off your own problems and focus on somebody else. Next, our long-term planning in this business is about a minute and a half. So focus on what you can do today, which goes back to my comment, when this is over, when we get on the other side of it, you can't have that. You can't have those thoughts. Right now, I want to go see my girlfriend in the United Kingdom, and I get online, I look at when is the UK, US travel going to open up, and then I see stuff like it. They start telling me when it might be, and it stresses me out so much. So I can't look at it. It stresses me. So when it happens, it's going to happen. In the meantime, we'll do our FaceTime. In your messaging, I think you do have to show sensitivity and compassion. I know I'm ranting a little bit on this because that's amongst us friend realtors, but to our customers, I think we've got to be careful. You know, you post, could you see yourself quarantined here? I don't think that's probably appropriate.
I don't think that should be in the vocabulary.
Nope. And exercise. Come on. If you were exercising before, doing it now. I've got an umbrella stand out here that has a handle on it. I went, hey, that's perfect for doing squats, Romanian deadlifts. Oh, I'm going to use that. I do kettlebell swings with it. Before I came down here, I went to Target, bought some of these high tension exercise bands, and I hook them to the door behind here, and I do pull downs, push-ups. I do my push-ups, sit-ups. I will not let a temporary situation do permanent damage to my health. I have my healthy smoothie in the morning. I work out every single day because I want to stay healthy, and I walk my dog. So for those of you who exercise, keep at it. For those of you who aren't, maybe it's time. For the last years, well, I don't have time. Well, now you got all the time in the world. And if you want to have motivation to exercise, for those of you who have ever taken care of an aging parent and been in the hospitals, in the hospice rooms, you take a look at that. That was my motivation. I went through the death of my mother, father, and brother, and I spent a lot of time in hospitals, and I looked around and went, oh, this is how life ends? Oh, no. I'm gonna stave this off. And you see people who are 40 looked 80, and I said, what'd you do? And then meditation. And if you want to get inner peace, meditation has always been the best way to still your mind, to still your body. Breathing exercises, closing your eyes, uncross your arms and your feet, and you breathe. If you want to hear some exercises, do a Google search on Deepak Chopra, and he will lead you through. What I want you to do now is sit quietly in a chair. I would like you to focus on your breathing. What I would like you to do now is take 6 long counts to an inhale. Inhale for a 6 count. Now hold it, and now exhale for 4. Now pay attention to your breathing. Now move your awareness from your feet to your leg. And he'll take you through a meditation. And after 5-10 minutes, you go, well, that was kind of refreshing. And move on. So those are some
back to the grind, right?
Yeah, and then get back to the grind. So learn Zoom video conferencing. Now I have real estate training by davidknox.com. It's an online, on-demand portal that people subscribe to. I call it the Netflix of real estate training. And in this site, we have we just uploaded a video yesterday. It's not even 24 hours old yet. And on the virtual listing. And I interviewed this woman, and we have her full video on her listing presentation. She got 2 listings on Zoom, never met the people. One of them sold, and the buyer never saw the house. They did it virtually through a video. So she got 2 listings in a sale, never met the people, still hasn't met the people, and may not for months. Yeah. So it can be done. I'm editing a video today called Virtual Open House. So if people are interested in checking it out, they can go to, they can check it out. You can go to, if you just go to davidknox.com, our homepage actually does take you down a list of what we do in our training. And so you scroll down, you can kind of see how it works. And right here, there's a 30-day free trial. So you can click on that, and it actually lets you play a few videos. In fact, if you were going to take me up on this and play a free video, I would say go to Knox First Tuesday number 140, set up a video conference space. And this is where I am right now. In fact, ironically, I'm wearing the exact same shirt.
Yes, you are.
I came down here and I only brought about 5 shirts, so I'm trying to rotate them.
That's your video conference shirt.
Yes. Yeah, that's a ticket. And by the way, right here, you guys can get this for free. It's a checklist video conference. It's in the support material, so you can download that. But what I want to show you now is a couple of people who took me up on watching the video. And whoops, I got to go back to sharing screen. They watched the video, and here's the before and after. This is my space right here. Inez, before and after. Look at the difference. You watch my video, 14 minutes, and boom. Yes. And then this is Vicki Westphal, who we feature in our virtual listing presentation. On the left was her actual listing presentation before she'd ever seen any techniques on how to do Zoom. It was pretty good, but too much headroom, bright light overhead with the reflection, kind of on an angle, busy background. And then she knew she and I were going to do this video, so she goes over, watches my video, and look at the difference.
Yes.
Cost her zero money. All
Well
she did
done.
was move in
Yeah.
front of a window instead of behind it, put a little throw pillow, has a nice neutral. So the point I'm making on this, all agents today are going to be judged not on whether you wore a suit and a tie. Now it's going to be, how do you look on video? And if you got headroom that's a mile long and you're backlit and silhouetted and, you know, bad audio, they're going to go, gosh, this guy's a loser. Yeah. So train yourself. I showed some of our training videos. Stay connected with each other. I think people are doing Zoom conferences quite a bit. It's a time to keep a schedule. It is so easy if you're working from home to get up whenever the heck you feel out of throwing some sweatpants, you know, watch the Netflix you were watching last night, maybe have a sandwich. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. You go, well, I think I wrecked my whole day. Might as well pick up Netflix again. And pretty soon, you know, weeks of your life are gone. You've made no money, done nothing.
Now. Right. It's too late to start anything now. So I may as well just finish.
Yeah. By 1:30, go, what the heck is this? Most of the day is over. So I think you've got to decide you are a realtor. You are an entrepreneur. You are a business person. Get out of bed. Get off your aspirations and start working. So if your starting time was 9 o'clock, then do all your morning routine. And at 9 o'clock, go to your office, whatever that is. For me, it's a desk, and get to work. What does work look like today? Number one, call your current sellers. And by now, I think we've been at this for 2 months. So I'm going to assume everybody has called their current sellers. And the question to them is, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? You know, what's going on with you? And listen, this is not a time for dialogue. I had some guy say, hey, David, are you going to come up with some dialogue for overcoming the COVID-19 objection?
Oh, yes. We'll talk them off the ledge ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, no. This is not a time for dialogue. This is a time to shut up and listen. So call your sellers, ask how they're doing, how they're feeling. And then you have to ask, how would you like to proceed? And a big chunk of them are going to say, hey, we got to sell. We got to go, like this guy, you know, my wife's, we're running out of money. We've got to sell her home. And there's going to be some sellers who say, you know what, we just don't want people in our home right now. So we'd like to put our home on hold. And is that okay? And you say, of course it's okay. Of course it is. We respect that. Absolutely. We understand that. I'm going to stay in touch with you. Feel free to call me. And then if you want to be a little salesperson, if you just want to test the result, just a little tiny bit, what you could say, by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your home has been on the market. We are generating leads. If someone should contact me, having seen it in your MLS, driven by the home, look at the photos, and they really like your home, what would you like me to do? And they'll say, well, if they've driven by and if they really like it and they're okay with the price, then I guess you could give me a call. Now it's in their court. Same with buyers. They say we don't want to be looking at homes today. No, we're not going to do it. We're going to delay our purchase. Great. Respect that. Thanks for your time. We'll stay in touch. By the way, I've already got a safe search in MLS. I know something's going to come on the market right in your area and price range. If that happens, what would you like me to do? And they'll say, oh, if it's really nice, I guess you could give us a call. Once again, you're just being respectful of them. You're testing their resolve and giving them the opportunity to say, well, I guess you can check in with me.
Because ultimately it's about what's important to them and how they'd like to handle it. So, you know, that point is valid. And I love the way you asked that question. How would you like me to handle it if this should occur? You know, it's really well said, because it's making them realize they could lose out on an opportunity if all they did was shut you down and ask you not to bother them.
Yeah. And if their final answer is, don't call me, don't tell me, don't do anything, that's great. That's fine. You have to do what they want to do. And now you're dealing, the good news is the remaining people, you know, they're motivated. So obviously this is a time to respond to leads. If you can't respond to a lead in 30 seconds now, then I don't know what the heck you're doing. Maybe you're watching a good Netflix movie. Let me know what it is. But respond to your leads. For sale by owners expires, how about those? They need you now more than ever. I don't think I would call them. I'd never recommend calling for sale by owners unless it is the only option.
Right.
And I get that. Sometimes that's your only way. Pre-corona, my advice was don't call, don't text. That annoys them. Don't email, because you don't have their email. Even if you did, that's a stupid way to attempt a relationship. My advice was to knock on the door. Get dressed up, look good, have something with your company logo and a photo on it, so it's kind of like a big business card, and knock on the door. Today, let me ask you, Dean, could they do that today? I don't know that would work.
Yeah, knocking on the door, I don't know that you would want to, surprise someone at their own door right now. So I think we've got to be
Okay,
careful with that.
good. Just want
But,
to be sure.
yeah, and, even, showings are limited and, under certain terms, and, every market is, specific with certain restrictions.
Okay, well, then
in
I just wanted
general,
to test it, because what I was
yeah.
going to say is don't knock on their door, but I didn't want to say that until I was sure that that was my
Well,
right advice.
yes, and
Oh, and
other than safety measures, I've often said the same. I jokingly say there may be a do not call list, but there's not a do not knock list. So,
right.
the best way to get in front of someone is to show up on their door and be respectful if they don't want to talk to you or what have you. But especially now, I think, it's a little bit more important to be aware of people's surroundings.
Okay, so here's what I would do. If I was an agent today in your market, I would put together a gift bag, and maybe it's got a potted plant. It's got hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, coffee cup, microwave popcorn,
Yep.
M&M peanut, and a letter and some promotional information on me, listing sales that I've done. And then I would have a letter and say, dear for sale by owner, selling your own, pardon me, selling your own home in any market is a challenge, especially this one. So we at our company have a virtual selling plan where we are actually finding people buying and selling, doing it all virtually. And although 20% of the market has gone away, the 80% that remains is highly motivated, and we're finding home selling for over asking. We're getting lots of offers on it. So if you would be interested in hearing about our virtual selling plan, it would be a pleasure for me to share it with you. And by the way, I will do it virtually. Out of respect for your privacy, I will not knock on your door and I will not call you, but you are free to call me, and I would be happy to set up a virtual meeting through Zoom. I'm sure you've heard of Zoom by now. I'd be happy to show you how it works. Please give me a call. And put that little gift bag on as many for sale by owners and expires as you can get to. And then I'd follow up with a handwritten note. And even if nothing happens, at least you know you're doing something good. The expired letter would say basically the same thing, but I would add, there are only 3 reasons why homes don't sell. I would be happy to help you determine which of the 3 they are. The way I would do that would be through a virtual consultation with you, a virtual tour of your property, and some review of current marketing. If you'd be interested in a virtual consultation, feel free to call me. I will not contact, respect for your privacy. I'm not going to knock on your door and I'm not going to call you, but you are free to call me and I will set up a Zoom video conference. And if I was in me, I'd have a sense of humor. By the way, you've heard about Zoom. This might be your chance to actually try it out. Give me a call. I would say that. I would say, yeah, I'm sure you've heard of Zoom by now and wondering how it works. If nothing else, you'll get an opportunity to have a Zoom meeting and if nothing else, I'll show how you use it with your friends and family.
Yes, everyone's doing it. So if you haven't, I'm your chance to try it.
Yeah, so if you want to learn how to use Zoom, I'll teach you.
That's right. And that kit sounds like a little survival kit, so, you have all the essentials in there.
Yeah, put some fun stuff in there. It really doesn't matter what you put in. But the other thing all of you could do is go to your local florist. These poor people are probably starving today. And just say, hey, what kind of deal you give me on 100 potted plants or something? And then you give them and you download a CSV file of your past clients. You give it to them and have them delivered to all 100 people. For sure, I would have it delivered to your sellers. For sure that.
Yes.
In fact, sellers, I'd do a big plant. I'd do
do something a little different.
Yeah, I would do something pretty big. And one of my friend's sons came up with that. He was actually featured on a local TV show. He bought some plants and he bought some extra ones. So he gave them to somebody at a grocery store, a checkout person, or somebody. And they were so touched, they almost broke out in tears. And somebody actually gave him something like that. And he saw the happiness on their face. So he went back to the florist. And now apparently he loads up his truck with hundreds of them, and delivers them to local businesses. And wow. And it just warms his heart to see how happy, I got a plant on it. And I've done that like on Valentine's Day. I'll sometimes get a bunch of roses and I hand them out to the flight attendants when I travel, and it just brightens their day because these poor people.
Just a little touch.
Yeah. So those are some things you can do. Past customers, if there was ever a time to call your past customers, this is it. They're home. They want to talk. They're happy to talk to somebody other than their family. They're probably welcome a phone call. And here's your message to past clients. Hey, Jim and Karen, I'm calling you up and say, in fact, I try to get them on Zoom. Say, you guys have heard about it Zoom. Do you mind if I FaceTime or Zoom with you? I just want to have a quick conversation with you. Well, yes, no, whatever. And your message is, how are you guys doing? I'm just calling for, well, I'm calling for two reasons. One, I want to thank you for your business. I certainly appreciate that you bought a home through me or you sold your home through me. And I want to thank you for that. And I also want to just see how you guys doing. And then just shut up and listen.
Right.
And pre-corona, I would have said, by the way, how much longer do you plan to stay in your current home?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a salesy question. I wouldn't probably ask that right now, but I would still want to hear what they would have said. So my current question would be, and this you probably would have asked it even had I not said it on the Zoom, and that is, how's your house holding up for you now that you're home all the time?
Yes.
And they might say,
it's
oh,
a
we
true
love it.
test
Thanks
of
for
a
selling
home,
it to us. It's a great home. We love it. We're so glad we had that extra bedroom. Or they also might come back and say, oh, Bay, I can tell you something. We grown to hate this place. And I'll tell you what, once this virus is done, we are going to burn this place down. You hear what I'm saying to you? And then you're going to find some dissatisfaction, and maybe it becomes a listing. So those are kind of some, and speaking of that, give me 15 seconds. I want to give a water to my pool guy in concert with what we just said.
Okay. Always make sure you're doing the little details, right, David?
Yeah. Sorry, but it's a hot day. I'm going to help him. Thanks very much. Thanks for keeping it clean. All right. See you later.
Send us a little sunshine our way, David.
Yeah, it's
not
beautiful
quite that
here.
warm here.
Yeah, and by the way, you talk about gratitude. I sit here and I've got a guy coming out cleaning my pool. I'm grateful to have a pool on a sunny day. So yeah, I live in gratitude, and I've actually been re-energized. Doing online training. We got 600 videos on our site, and I reached a point where I said, I don't know what else to put on video. I've taught everything there is to know about real estate,
Right.
and I kind of got bored. And all of a sudden, I'm re-energized because I realize agents need help now like they never needed it. And too many of them are just hiding from the world. And I thought, come on. No. And we got to get you out. No. We got buyers, sellers, they got to move. So I've been excited shooting, I don't know how many, 12, 15 new videos all within the last weeks. So it's been really, really fun for me to offer that service to realtors.
I can imagine. And just, acknowledging what you do, I mentioned that I've been through, many programs of yours over the years. I'm 31 years in the industry now.
Uh-huh.
And it's always timely. It's always relevant content. So I applaud you for that, because, there are a lot of series out there, a lot of speakers that talk how we used to do things. And it's all about adjusting with the times. I mean, the markets do change. And when you look at the youth in the industry, whether it's their age or whether it's their length of time in the industry, folks coming into the industry are learning it today's way. They don't remember what it was like 20, 25, 30 years ago, and it doesn't matter, because, that whole expression, well, that's not how we used to do it. Well, nobody really cares.
Yeah. But I will say this, I've got a video series in our training. It's called The Mentor Series 2. Is recorded 22 years ago. They're role plays between me and actors 22 years ago. It's word for word perfect today.
Really?
The fundamentals haven't changed a bit. Building rapport, overcoming objections, dealing with price objections, seller counseling, asking open questions, listening for the motive, all of it works. So the dialogue and skill, the people skills haven't changed. The people skills.
And I love that you use the term dialogue, because, people say, I need a script. No, you don't. You internalize the script so it becomes a dialogue, and you remember the dialogue. And it's so important that people know the difference. And I think ultimately it comes down to communication with your clients or with anyone. So, if those series are based on communication, remains constant.
Yeah.
It's the methodology of, how to source those leads, those listings, those clients, and how to interact may change a little bit, but the communication will always remain constant, human interaction.
Yeah, when I watched Vicki Westover on her Zoom listing presentation, everything she did there is something that you would do in the home a month ago, a year ago, a decade ago. Same, just tell me, she started off, said, tell me about you guys. I mean, what a nice way to start a listing. So tell me a little bit about yourself, and then just shut up and listen.
So wants and needs analysis, get to know them. I always say 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them proportionately, like you want to learn about the people, if all you're doing is showing and selling, they're going to tune you out. People love to, what's the one thing people like to talk about? Themselves, So, so let them. Absolutely.
I've got one other technique on doing a virtual open house if you want, but I'm actually happy to turn it over to you, let you ask some questions. You know what your viewers want to know. So I'm going to let you be that person. I'm just.
No, you know what? And I just wanted to have the conversation along the lines of your program when you mentioned it to me. I mean, you've covered so much material. So, so ultimately, if I had to ask any particular question, it's about, that question might be, how do people find that way to motivate themselves? So, it's that in between. Don't stay home, hide under the covers. You said it well. Was it tuck and hide, a dodge and tuck?
Duck and cover. I hear people.
Tuck and cover, yes.
There's
So
person
how,
said
how do you get out of inactivity how do you get out of inactivity and into activity? What, those folks who know they need to get out of tuck and cover and actually begin, how do they begin?
Well, it begins with just your internal motivation. I mean, do you enjoy being a realtor? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to help your customers and clients? And do you want to be a servant to the people in your lives? Do you enjoy that? Is real estate a career or is it a business for you? And if it is, then take a breath and continue. The technology we need to learn right now is not that big a deal.
Right.
It's really not. Learning Zoom, yeah, it's about 20, 30 minutes of fumbling around. And you and I had to figure out how to make somebody a co-host. It took me 2 days to go into the settings to figure it out, drove me nuts. And yeah, there's a bit of a learning curve, but that's not a big deal. It's not like learning nuclear physics in order to do it. It's, we're not learning heart surgery.
Right.
So
and be
the change,
adapting, I mean, ultimately you have to be comfortable rolling with it, like you just mentioned, we experienced at the beginning of this session. It's okay, that didn't work for some reason, so let's do this. And and I appreciate your patience with it, but yes, at the end of the day, it's we can't control what technology is not allowing us to do sometimes.
Yeah, and your clients will put up with it. Come on, it's new to everybody.
Right.
It's new to everybody, so nobody's going to go, oh, I can't believe you didn't know how to use Zoom. So but the question of how do you get internally motivated, that's a question of the ages. How do you do it? And I talk to broker owners, how do I motivate my agents? And my answer is you don't. You hire motivated agents.
Right.
You can't make people do what they don't want to do. Now, for those people who are on the edge, I think you got to take a look and realize that you are essential to these poor buyers and poor sellers that need to sell, and you have the right to earn a living. And you earning a living doesn't take from anybody else. So that gets kind of into this, well, if I'm making money, aren't I taking it from somebody else? That's a stupid belief. No, if you're earning money, you're giving value and they're choosing to give you money. And the more money you have, the more you can invest and pay and give to charity and whatever. That gets into a whole philosophical side of it. But I think you have the right to support your family by giving service to another human being. As Zig Ziglar's, I think, said, you help other people get what they want, you'll always get what you want. And the other thing, I was Jim Rohn, one of my all-time favorite speakers, a mentor to me. I'm so privileged to have shared the stage with him at an event a while ago. When people complain about how difficult things are, and other people cutting their commission, and they go rant on and on and on about how difficult it is. Jim Rohn was very simple. He said, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better."
Right. That's well said. That's right, because ultimately it's about honing your skills, and outpacing somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think the other way to answer your question, how do you get motivated? I'm sure anybody listening to this are obviously in the business. And I would say, call one past client. Just call one. Mm-hmm. Not 50. You don't even have to do your hour of power. When this thing's over, just look at your phone, go, who do I know in here past client? I'm going to call Bob. Just call him. What do you say? Doesn't matter. Just, how are you doing, Bob? Thanks for buying a home through me. Thanks for selling. How the heck are you doing? And what's going to happen is they say, oh, thank you for calling. Good to hear from you. We're wondering, how is the real estate business going? Is it still happening? And you go, oh, yeah. Oh, sure. It still is. Really? We thought you were dead. And all my friends here, I've got very close friends. They know me for years. And they thought, David, what's going on in the real estate business? Are you out of business? Are realtors out of business? I went, no, do you think that? And they go, yeah. And I went, that's interesting, because to the people listening, your customers and clients and friends think you're dead too. So you need to tell them the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. We're still in business. Now, yes, you have to do it in an informative way, not a sales way. So there's a sensitivity that comes with it, but just let them know you're alive and well. And then when you do your Facebook Live, which is a great way to connect with your sellers, say, hey, this is David Knox. I just want to do this Facebook Live to connect with so many of you in all these years. And, you know, we haven't been able to connect physically, and I miss that, and I'm sure you do too, but I just wanted to connect with you virtually. I have so many people call me up and said, you know, what's going on in the real estate world? And I thought this might be a good time to let you know that we've had about 10 or 15 or whatever that percentage of people kind of pull to the sidelines right now. And we've had some buyers choose to wait and some sellers choose to wait. But what we've left with is buyers and sellers that are absolutely moving. We've had shorter market times. We've had multiple offers, homes selling for over full price. We have people taking advantage of the low interest rates right now. So just so you know, the rumors of the real estate industry's death have been greatly exaggerated. We're very, very busy. So for those of you who are in a position that do need to buy and do need to sell, you know, give me a call and I'll do a virtual consultation, share with you my virtual marketing plan. So hope all is well with you. And whether you're going to buy or sell, doesn't matter to me, but give me a call and let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you.
No, and that's absolutely well said, because it rolls into a conversation organically, you know, because you're just reaching out to say hello, and all of a sudden they just led the conversation down the path that they wanted it to.
Yeah.
So embrace that dialogue and just allow it to happen.
Yeah. Another thing you do, take your mobile device out, depending on your shelter in place, whatever. If there are any businesses in your town that are still operating, maybe there's a restaurant they're doing curbside or drive up or deliver, whatever, and you go to the restaurant with your phone, you ask the owner to come out and just say, you know, I'm a realtor here in our market, and I'm doing my best to help. You know, I bought a lot of pizza from you, or I come to your restaurant and my heart goes out to you guys. You're working so hard to stay in business. So I wanted to help you out. I'm doing a Facebook Live to all of my friends. Would you mind if I just do that with you? And I'm going to introduce you and you tell me what's going on. Would you like to do that? And set it up and say, okay, ideally you get somebody else to hold the camera. And you do a 5-minute Facebook Live. So for those of you who are looking for some of the best pizza, come on down and do this. And then you go to the dry cleaners. Are you guys open? Oh, we're open. We have limited hours, but yeah, we're still open. Great. And then go around to your businesses, do 1 a day or 2 a day or whatever. And your businesses will remember you for supporting them. So
absolutely.
You know, I guess if you can't get in this market, maybe it's the time to give.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the opportunity to do exactly just that. Yep. Yep. Well said. No, you covered so much, and hopefully, you know, people will take heed and understand what facets of that they can implement in their own business. And, you know, and the key to it is just to start, you know, but there are many out there that never skip a beat, and, you know, they are taking advantage of the market, not advantage of a situation, but taking advantage of the market because they've allowed business to come to them and they've embraced that. Yep. You know, when we look at the social distancing requirements, we look at the states that are easing the restrictions, all of that comes into play. You know, neither you nor I are saying that we need to ignore that and just get back out to normalcy. You know, we don't know what normal is because normal's changing every day right now with this pandemic. But at the end of the day, it's about getting out there and doing something to connect and reconnect.
Yeah, and maybe
now's not the time to hide.
In the word take advantage, maybe reverse it. Maybe let your clients take advantage of your knowledge.
Yes.
Let your clients take advantage of your ability to help them get into a newer home or whatever. Let them take advantage of what you can do for them, and then realize that you are giving, not taking. And I think that's a philosophy that we have to have, that we're giving. Yeah, we get paid for it, but we have to give first. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said. No, I can't thank you enough. Again, your content, your topics, you know, your knowledge is always timely. So
thank you.
So thank you again for accepting the invite, and I hope everyone will get a lot out of this. We will share this video so that people do have all of the insights, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being on your show, and I hope it helps the realtors out there to go help their customers and clients. So thanks for having me on.
And again, your website is davidknox.com.
davidknox.com, and you can hear about our seminars, which we're not going to be doing those for a while, but the online training if you're a broker owner. And we also have consumer videos that the video for which I'm most famous is called Pricing Your Home to Sell. And it was on VHS and then DVD. People would put it in a pre-listing package, and now it's online, and you can email it to people or send it on a mobile app, and it teaches buyers how to buy, sellers how to price right, staging videos, things like that. And now in this time of virtual real estate, those videos are perfect for emailing videos to people and teaching them things that you can't do in person.
Agreed. Agreed. Awesome. So thank you again. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks, Dean.
All right, David. Bye-bye now.